Alright, in this video I'm going to show you how to do the pixels assignment in Photoshop. So let's get started. Because this is our first Photoshop assignment of the year, we have to change a couple of the settings in Photoshop so that it is awesome for us. First thing we want to do, just come down here to the bottom of your screen and right click on the Photoshop icon and choose Pin to Taskbar. That way Photoshop will always be there for us and we won't have to search for it in the start menu. It will always just be right here on our taskbar. In fact, I'm even going to move it over here by Bridge, my shortcut to Bridge, because I think they belong together. It's very cute. Next thing we want to do is come up here to the top of our screen and go to Edit and go down to Preferences and choose General, or you could just press Control K on your keyboard. Okay, we're not going to change anything on this first screen, so let's just click on Next. Right here, these four boxes, these are the different color schemes you can make Photoshop. You choose whichever one you like. I don't really care. Click Next. Click Next. So now we're on Tools over here. I want you to check this box right here that says Zoom with Scroll Wheel. That's one of my favorites. Shortcuts right there is to have that thing checked. So do that. And then we're going to skip ahead. We're going to go down to Performance right here. And just change this right here. This by default is on 50. Change that to 200. And then jump down here to Grids, Guides, and Slices. We're only going to use this setting for this one assignment, and then after that we'll turn it off. But for now, change grid line to 1. Put this on Pixels, and Subdivisions should also be 1. So it should look just like that. And then we are done in here, so go ahead and press OK. Now let's go to File, New, and we will start on the actual assignment. I want you to set yours up so it looks exactly like this. Do me a favor. Change this to pixels before you do anything. So put that on pixels and then type in 30, 50, 72, and then everything else should be the same. Just make sure this is on white. And if you got all that, you are good to go. Then go ahead and press OK. And this box right here will pop up. You'll notice it's a real tiny little box. Well, we changed that one setting in our preferences where we can use our scroll wheel on our mouse to zoom in. So I can zoom that up, make it nice and big. And then I'm going to go to View and go down to Show and choose Grid. And now each one of these grids represents a pixel. There are 1,500 pixels in this image because we made it 30 pixels wide by 50 pixels tall. What we're going to do is we're going to draw a Minecraft low resolution, a very pixely version of ourselves for this picture. So I'm going to start out by using the marquee, the rectangular marquee tool. It's this tool right here. You can see its keyboard shortcut is M. We are only going to use the rectangle. There is a circle and a single row. For other assignments, we'll use circle. I rarely use these, but for today, we're just using the rectangle. And I got that to pop out by right-clicking on it. So I'm going to come out here, and I'm going to, somewhere towards the top, I'm going to click and drag a square. This is going to be my head in the photo. You see that purple line that showed up right there going down the middle? That's Photoshop's way of telling me that right now, my box is right in the middle. You can see if I drew a box that doesn't go through the middle, that purple line is not there. Well, I want my box to be in the middle. I also want to leave some room at the top for some hair. So I'm just going to keep making my box bigger until I see that purple line. And that's perfect. I'll let go there. You can see I got a nice selected box is what this is. Now I need to fill this with a color. So I'm going to come up here and go to Edit and choose Fill. And when this launches for you guys, it will be right here on Content Aware. We do not want that. So I'm going to click on this. I'm going to change this to color. And this box pops up. This is our color picker. You can see that's what it's called. The color picker is cool. It offers us millions and millions of different colors. Well, so if I wanted my face to be green in this photo, which I don't because I'm going to try to make this look like me, I would put this on green over here, and then I got hundreds and thousands of shades of green over here that I could choose from. What I actually want is kind of a yellowish white because I'm just a pretty boring white person. Maybe somewhere right in there works pretty good for me. You choose the color that works for you, but remember you are trying to make this look somewhat like you. So let's go ahead and press OK and press OK. And you can see that box filled with that color, and it only filled that box. Very cool. To get rid of this box, I'm going to press Control D on my keyboard, and now it's gone, and I can now start working on my next box. Next thing I want to do is add some eyeballs. So what I'm going to do is somewhere right here in that part of my head, I'm going to add some eyeballs. Those are going to be 3 pixels by 3 pixels. You can make it your own size. I don't really care. Then again, I'll go to Edit, Fill, and I'm going to fill this with color again. But this time I'm going to even do something a little bit wider, almost pure white. And then I'll press OK and press OK. And now I want the other eyeball over here to be the same size. So instead of drawing a new box, I'm just going to click inside of this one and drag it over here. Make sure I'm keeping things symmetrical. And then go to Edit, Fill. And I don't need to choose the color again because I'm using the same color as the last time I filled. So I can just press OK and then press Control D to make that selection go away. Next, I'm going to add a nose. Make yours look however you like. I'm going to do a nice long down like that. And again, I'll go to Edit, Fill. And I'm going to choose a little bit different color for the nose. Maybe something similar but a little darker. And then I'm going to put just a little more color into it as well by moving this down. And let's put it over there, sort of. And that looks pretty good, so I'll press OK, press OK. And then I want a little cross going across the bottom like that. So I'll do that and then go to Edit, Fill again, and press OK. And I'll press Control D to make that go away. All right, at this point you should have a pretty good idea of how this works. Let's add a mouth. I'm just going to make a thin red line for my mouth. So I'll just draw a little box, and of course, as always, I'll go to Edit, Fill, and choose a color for the mouth. Should be kind of a reddish, not too red. And then press Control D. And so far I'm looking pretty good. I'm going to teach you right now a few tricks that are going to make this easier. So I'm going to add some hair. Oh, I didn't finish my eyeballs. Let me do that real quick. I'm going to just do a smaller box there and go to Edit, Fill. And I'm going to put, I have blue eyes, so I'm going to put a blue color in there. And again, I can just drag this box over here like this and go to Edit, Fill again. And press OK. Then press Control D. Now, let me teach you a few shortcuts. I'm going to add some hair, and I want a big spiky brown hair because that's kind of what my hair looks like. So I'm going to click and drag a big box like this, just like that. But I want some little spikes coming off of it, and I don't want to do each one of those individually. I'm going to press and hold the Shift key, and you can see how that little plus sign showed up next to my cursor. This allows me to add to my selection. So I can now come in here and just keep drawing little spiky dudes to add to my selection. And in doing that, now you can see what my selection looks like. Now when I go to Edit, Fill, and choose a brown for my hair. Brown's hard to find. It's kind of down here in the yellow orangish area, and then you come down here in this bottom right hand corner. Press OK, press OK. Now I got kind of that spiky look on my hair, and that looks pretty awesome. I'm going to use that same technique to do my beard, so I'm going to draw a line going straight down here. Then I'm going to hold down Shift and do maybe another one right there. And still holding down Shift, I'll do another one right there. And still holding down Shift, do another one right there. I'm just going to keep holding down Shift this entire time. I'm now going to do one going across my lip right there. And now I'm going to start drawing the other side. Again, trying to keep it symmetrical. Okay, look right here. You can see I made a mistake. This one was supposed to only go to there if I'm trying to keep things symmetrical. This doesn't look right. So this is a great time to bring up, how do you fix something? How do you undo a mistake you made? Well, the best way to do it is Control and Alt and the letter Z. And if you need to go back multiple steps, just do Control, Alt, Z. If you only want to go back one step and you only need to go back one time, Control Z will work. But Control Alt Z is if you need to go back multiple steps. You can see I'm undoing multiple of my sections that I added. So let me re-add those really quick. Again, holding down the Shift key, coming across here. Oops, that didn't stick. Let's try that again. There we go. So I'm doing all of this by just holding down the Shift key. And then I need to come add a nice little section right here. And then I'm just going to do my Edit, Fill again. And just like that, I got a sweet beard. Press Control D to make that go away, and that is looking pretty dang good. At this point, I want to add a neck. Here's another little shortcut trick for you. The problem is, if I come in here and go to Edit Fill, you can see when I choose color that my color is still set to this brown. Well, what I want is the same color that I used for my skin. And I could spend 100 years trying to come up here and trying to click and get that to match up perfectly. And I'd probably never get it right. But a much better way to do it would be for me to just take my cursor and move it out of my color picker and come out here. And you can see that any color I click on over here, it will select that over here in my color picker. So if I wanted the color of my nose, I click on that, or my hair. But what I want is the color of my skin, so I'll click on my skin, and it selected it for me over there. Thank you very much. Press OK, and now I've got the color of my skin there for my neck, and it matches. And again, Control D to make that go away. The last thing I want to show you is a much faster way to fill things. This is actually my preferred method to do it. So if I was going to make a torso here, I would click and drag a box. And instead of going to Edit Fill, what I'm going to do is come over here to the bottom of my toolbar. This is my foreground and my background colors. And I'm going to actually click on the background color, this one that's in the back, the one that's brown right now. If I click on that, you can see my color picker comes up just like in the fill. And I can come in here and choose a color. I'm wearing a blue shirt today, so I'm going to do a blue. And press OK, and you see nothing happened except for that right there changed to blue. Well, now if I press Control Backspace, it will fill that section with blue. And that is exactly what I wanted. So I'm going to do the same thing now. I'm going to come out here. I'm going to draw a little sleeve right there. I'm going to use that Shift key again, hold down Shift and click and drag over here. And then that blue is still set, so now I'll press Control Backspace and then Control D. Then I'm going to click on this again. I'm going to choose my face color because my arms should be the same color as my face. I'm going to click and drag an arm right here. And then I'm going to hold down Shift and click and drag an arm or down right here. And again, I'll just press Control Backspace to fill those in and Control D to make it go away. That's it, you guys. That's all you need. That's everything you need to know to be able to do this assignment. I'm not going to make you watch me do the whole thing because you can now do everything I've done, and you know all the tricks and the shortcuts and everything to make this assignment as easy as possible. When you are done, you're going to want to go to File, Save. We, of course, want everything to be in the photo drive. So let's go to this PC, Photo SR $, the O drive. Go into your period. Go into your folder. There should be you should need to make a folder called Pixels. If you don't have it already, click on New Folder. Otherwise, if it already exists, go into Pixels. And we want to make sure we're saving this as a Photoshop file while we are still working on it. So until we are done, we're going to save this as a Photoshop. So I already have it saved in here, but we could give it a new name. We could call it Pixel by Johnson. And then make sure this is on Photoshop. And then go ahead and hit Save. Then, once we are finally done, once we feel like we are good with the entire project, again, we'll go to File, Save to make sure our finished file is saved as a Photoshop file. But then we'll also File, Save As, and the file that we turned in needs to be a JPEG. So I now need to come down here to Save As Type and click on this and save it as a JPEG. And then I can leave the name or I can change it, whatever you want. Just make sure that you got this as a JPEG and then hit Save. This box right here will pop up. I like for this to be at 10 for the quality, and then go ahead and press OK. And you are done. You can close this and log out.